For this video, we are going to take a look at Jodie Shooter Craig from G.I. Joe Classified Series. When you take the figure out of packaging, you're going to be greeted by the figure in this configuration with that gas mask on. So actually, this figure has 3 different hair types or hairdo. So you could easily swap it off, and the head unit is going to look like this. So that was hairdo or hair unit number 1 with the gas mask. This is hairdo or hair unit number 2, and just press it tightly on the head sculpt so it's going to sit right. And last unit, hairdo number 3. So this one has the braids. This is more of the ponytail. And that is the gas mask. Okay, so female characters in the G.I. Joe Classified Series line. For Jodie Shooter Craig, articulation points, pinless double points for the elbow, pinless double points for the knee. You have articulation on the thigh, articulation on the shin, and we still have articulation on the biceps. Butterfly joints for the shoulder or the ball of the shoulder, 2 points of articulation for the neck, 2 points of articulation for the body, so 1 ball for the diaphragm, 1 ball for the waistline. And as for the hand units, so the hinge joints are going to be on the thumb area. Details. So she has a tattoo on the left arm. This is the details on the face. So it's going to depend on which hair type or hairdo you wish to use for this action figure. Personally, this one is going to sit in my accessories bin because it's such a waste to have a gas mask on an action figure with such fine details on that head sculpt. So personally, my choice for this character is going to be this hairstyle. So she still has highlights at the end of the hair. So overall, the action figure comes really decent out of packaging, but when you take this out of package, you still have to subject this to a little bit of hair dryer time to soften out the joints, especially on the elbow area. So this point of the elbow. Okay, so accessories that matter with the action figure. Knife mounted on the left shoulder. That is a kukri, so that is the details. It is made of soft, pliable plastic. We have a pistol belt. That is a floating piece right now out of packaging. We have a detachable holster or thigh holster for the pistol, and we have a pistol. So this pistol has a muzzle brake at the end, possibly a weapon light or a green laser, and an extended magazine without a sleeve. Okay, anyway, so if you're going to have extended magazines, it's better to have sleeves on that magazine. Okay, as for retention system for the sniper rifle, so this is the details of the sniper rifle that this action figure comes with. And as for total length, so if you have the figure, that's almost as tall as the figure. So it mounts on the back this way. So that attaches to the trigger, which I really detest. And you just snap it in that way, and this hook rests on that side of the rifle. And he could crawl around the jungle with a humongous 50 BMG rifle that's going to snag on a lot of things. So if you're going to use realism on action figures, better yet use a strap system instead of a retention system like this. And the thing with this rifle, aside from it being way too long, we have a very gimmicky magazine. Okay, so it sits at an angle. Well, the intention is to make it cooler but very unrealistic. Anyway, this is something that we could replace later on. And just a sample of a magazine replacement, just in case you have this rifle, which comes with a detachable magazine. So it really does not have to be this weapon specific, but take a look at this. So take that fancy looking mag out, take your more traditional looking magazine, and you convert that rifle into a more realistic design. And actually, what the low light action figure really did well is with regards to design is the inclusion of a carrying case. So the weapon would be stored in that rifle bag, which actually matters or is more realistic. But with this and that carrier, I would rather modify this rifle more to a DMR instead of something like this, which is really a weighty piece to carry or walk around in the jungle. Shooter after modification. First thing that I did was to cut off the knife that is mounted on this side of the shoulder and replaced it with a pouch. So same pouch color. So that's the reason why I would keep very small items from the other kit bashes that I would make. So just in case of situations like this wherein I need to cover a item that I removed, then I would have pockets or anything that I could put on top of there. Okay, so the knife went to this section of the pistol belt, the small of the back. The holster also has moved from its thigh mounted position to its pistol belt mounted position. And I also cut off the extra part of the magazine, so it's going to be a flush fit instead of having a free floating piece. The pistol belt is also glued onto the waistline of the action figure. So the buckle, underneath that buckle, we glued that piece. And these sections too, that is glued sections. So the belt now sits nice and tight on the waistline of the action figure, so it's not a floating piece that when you play around with this action figure, it's going to be an annoying piece. So I'd rather have this pistol belt really attached to the waistline of the action figure. Now the pistol belt is not totally glued, it's just going to be this front section and these two sides, so leaving this section free floating. So whenever I would play with this action figure, we still have free movement or motion. So it's the pouches and the holster is not going to impede with articulation points. Okay, so next thing we did was to replace footwear, because I was just not a fan of this. They look like basketball shoes, so making the figure less serious. Because when you read the profile or the bio of this figure, it's one very serious character. So why assign something like this? So that is now assigned to my Kitbash Black Widow figure. Okay, so we still have other modifications that I did. So just for the basic, if I just wish to use this rifle, so I trimmed down the length of the barrel, so this is more like a DMR. So I fitted this suppressor, nothing really fancy, just something that I would take from my parts bin, especially from any of the Gundam model kits that I have lying around for use for customizations like this. Okay, so this rifle does not sport the old magazine or the magazine that is assigned to it. So that magazine comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Outback. So that complements the look of the action of this rifle, I mean, better. So something that she could use for night ops, because that is a thermal scope. And if it's not a night ops mission, then I have another rifle for shooter. So something that also came out from my parts bin. Okay, so weapons parts bin. So this is a bolt action rifle. So I just fitted it with another of those suppressors or Fox suppressors that I took out from the model kit parts bin. And to make it more realistic, I used a weapon wrap. So it's going to look like this for it. So it's going to be a jungle or day mission. So bolt action rifle for Jodie. And last two pieces to complete this build. Excuse me. So we have a 3-day pack with water bottles and an entrenching tool. So we could put it on the back of the action figure, and I also trimmed the peg, so that's going to be a nice proper fit. Now it has to ride quite lower on the back of the action figure because we still have one more piece. So it's going to be this. So I reserved this just in case for kit bashes like this one. So it's going to complement the look of the action figure. And reinstall that hairdo unit and press downward so it's going to engage well. So that's it. So this piece actually came from my Dark Riven action figure, which I converted to another Kitbash action figure build. And we're ready to reassign that rifle, that bolt action rifle. So let's move to the review table so we could take a nice look at the modified version of Jodie Shooter Craig. So we've got Jodie Shooter Craig on the review table. So let's do a 360 view of the action figure in her glorious sniper configuration. My custom or Kitbash low light action figure and my custom or Kitbash shooter action figure. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.